Hi, I'm Emma, Environment Specialist at Ecochain, and I'm going to explain to you the open item functionality in the inventory builder of Mobius. This is quite a useful feature as it allows you to move from the inventory of one object or product to the inventory of another object or product that your original product contains. In this video I'm going to work with the example of a t-shirt in the t-shirt demo. You actually have the t-shirt demo yourself, so you can also try this out yourself after this video. How it works is, currently we see a t-shirt here, so this is the inventory and it contains different objects and like cotton fabric and some electricity and some waste fabric. And actually I received some new data, so I know now that there's actually more ingredients in my cotton fabric. And why would I want to use the open item feature then? Well, I got the data of my new information. I got it per 1 square meter of cotton fabric. But actually now, while I'm looking at it in my product, it's scaled to 1.2 square meters. Because I am using 1.2 square meters of cotton fabric for my product. So if I would want to implement the data here, I would have to scale it in Excel first to 1.2 square meters before I could enter it. Well, how can I prevent this? I could use the open item functionality. And how I do this is by clicking on the 3 dots and then clicking on open item. What you see now is that we have moved to the inventory of the cotton fabric black, which is the item that I would like to edit. Now I can add things per 1 square meter, which is also how I have my data. So the inventory of a certain product or object is always presented per one of the units that you're measuring your product in. So when you go to the inventory of one of your objects or products, it will always scale to 1. And that's what happened here. Now I can just add my new sub items, for example, or change the numbers that are in here based on my new data. So for example, I can add some deionized water because I now learned that that's in there. For example, 20 liters. I can add it here. Now I have adapted my object in a very easy way. To go back to the t-shirt that I was working on previously, I have to click on back to product list. And then I have to select the product again. So here I'm selecting the same product again. And you can see now that the amount of deionized water that I added was actually scaled to 1.2 square meters because that's the amount of cotton fabric that is actually in my product. So this is one example of how you could use the open item functionality and why it is useful. Good luck with building your own model in Mobius, and if you have any more questions about this topic, then get in touch with us. Thank you for watching this video.